keto diet basically turns you into a fat-burning machine, making it very easy to lose excess weight, stay satiated for long periods, control your blood sugar, and reverse many common health issues. Your body will burn fat, and your brain will burn ketones that are also made from fat, so you will be a fat-burning machine. It's important to realize that this is very different from what's considered normal today. All around the world, there's a disaster going on, a massive obesity epidemic. Most people in the modernized world are already overweight or obese, and associated with this, there's a massive global diabetes epidemic, meaning too much sugar in people's blood. Every second American is now predicted to get type 2 diabetes in their lifetime. And incredibly, in China, the type 2 diabetes epidemic is even worse. It's a disaster in India as well, and in the Arab world, not just in the US and Europe. It's a global problem now, leading to terrible complications. Excess fat on people's bodies and excess sugar in their blood. What is going on? It's not just that this affects people you know, most likely affects you too already. So, why is it happening? All around the world, we now have easy access to high-carb, high-sugar foods 24/7. Foods that are also hyper-palatable, meaning they are so rewarding that they are potentially addictive. So if we just do what everyone else is doing, we are likely to eat and drink sugar or starch many times per day. And every time we do that, we increase the amount of sugar in our blood, and we make sure our bodies burn sugar. Now the problem with burning primarily sugar is that this shuts down our body's fat burning via the hormone insulin. When you eat carbs, you raise the blood sugar levels and insulin levels rise. Now insulin is the body's fat storing hormone. It tells your body to store fat you eat for later. So the sugar is burned first, and the fat is stored for later. And that's the problem in a nutshell, because later never counts. In today's world, we'll soon eat again. And we're not just talking about the obvious junk food like donuts. Even starchy foods like bread or pasta rapidly break down in the gut, turning to pure glucose, a simple sugar, raising blood sugar and insulin levels. So even bread, pasta and rice, all starchy foods, turn to simple sugars in the gut. So if people eat what most people eat, their blood streams are constantly full of sugar. Worst case, even turning them into diabetics. And at the same time, they are constantly storing fat. And that's why we have an obesity epidemic. Just eating less and moving more is simply not enough to stop it. We know that now. We've been saying that for 30 years, while the obesity epidemic keeps getting worse every year. It's not working, and we know why. Losing weight by counting calories is hard work. As long as people eat lots of sugar or carbs, thinking they're doing the right thing, it can be almost hopeless, because they will constantly be in fat storing mode, and you can't outrun a bad diet. Now, what does all this have to do with keto? A keto diet is the exact opposite. Instead of burning sugar all the time, we burn fat. Now, obviously keto is not the only healthy way you could eat, but it is the most powerful diet to completely reverse diseases caused by too much sugar and carbs, including obesity. Because instead of constantly eating sugar and starch all day, we don't do it at all. At least almost not at all. A keto diet is a very low-carb diet. It is moderate in protein, meaning you should still eat a normal amount of protein, what you need to repair and maintain the body's tissues like before. But the energy that you need, what you used to get mostly from sugar or carbs, that you will now get from fat. On a keto diet, your body is fueled by fat. All the muscles in our bodies can be fueled directly by fat. The brain, however, cannot, and that's where we come to the word keto, short for ketogenic. When you eat very few carbs, your body will take fat and convert it in the liver to small energy molecules called ketones. And ketones are a great fuel for your brain. So on keto, even your brain will be burning fat via ketones. This is actually a function that the body needs whenever you don't eat for some time. If you're fasting or starving, the stored sugar quickly runs out and the body starts producing ketones from fat to feed the brain. So you don't have to do a keto diet to get into ketosis. You could also just fast for a day or two, and you would also get into ketosis and burn lots of fat. The neat thing is that you don't have to starve or fast for a long time to achieve that, because a keto diet also does it. Plus you obviously can't fast forever, but you can do a keto diet for life. The bottom line is that keto makes you a fat-burning machine. While someone else might be running on a treadmill for an hour to burn some fat, you will be burning fat 24/7, even when sleeping. It's the ultimate diet for weight loss, and it can help you feel greater and perform better. Why? Well, because you're never likely to run out of fuel. Your body can only store carbs for energy for a few hours or maximum one day. This means that if you're a sugar burner, you will get hungry again fast. You'll have to eat and prepare food all the time, and if you don't, you're likely to feel hungry and tired and miserable. On the other hand, the body stores fat with enough energy for weeks or even months. And on a keto diet, your body and brain has constant access to this. You'll become the Energizer Bunny. You'll be able to just keep going, feeling energetic and satiated and great without ever having to stop for a snack. You could even easily skip a few meals, should you want to, saving tons of time, even money, and all the time you will be burning fat. Even when you're in bed dreaming, your body and brain are burning fat. It's no surprise that keto is a great way to lose weight. But it's much more than that, and we'll talk about the other benefits too in detail later in this course. In the next part, we'll get very practical. What exactly do you eat on a keto diet? I mean, except for bacon. Everyone knows you can eat bacon, right? I'll see you soon in part 3. What exactly do you eat on a keto diet? After watching this video, you'll know. We talked about the benefits of a keto diet and how it works. In this video, you will learn exactly what foods to eat and not to eat, plus when to eat and how much to eat. And you will see that it's all surprisingly simple. First, the quick summary. A keto diet contains very few carbs and a higher proportion of energy from natural fat. The protein amount should be moderate. The diet is based on real food like meat, fish, eggs, vegetables, and natural fats like butter, or from fatty foods like avocado, salmon, or olive oil. Avoid carbohydrate-rich food like sugar, sweets and starchy foods, bread, pasta, rice, and potatoes. And you could end up eating something like this in a day, just as an example. A simple way to explain the difference between regular food and keto foods is that you remove the large portion of carbs, rice, potatoes, or pasta, and replace it with vegetables prepared in fats. For example, veggies fried in butter or salads with olive oil. It can really be that simple. So how much should you eat? Well, you can eat when you're hungry, until you're satisfied. Super simple. You don't need to count calories, you don't need any pills, no special products, and no meal replacements on a keto diet. You only need real food. Another important difference, waiting until you're hungry to eat feels easy on keto, because your body can now switch directly to burning your body fat when needed. On a carb diet, you would get sugary cravings and feel tired if you don't eat all the time. But on a keto diet, you get more energy when you're hungry. And once you do eat, hunger is the best spice. So eat when you're hungry, until you're full, and then repeat this for as long as you want, maybe your whole life. It's as natural as can be, like breathing. Just remember to choose food with very little sugar or starch. Now, a common rule is to stay below 20 grams of carbs per day. And a simple beginner's rule to achieve that is to stick to food with less than 5% carbs. For the rest of this video, we'll go through exactly what to eat and what not to eat on keto. When it comes to meat, just choose what you like. Beef, pork, game, poultry, bacon. The fatty parts are good for you, and so is the skin on the chicken. Try to choose organic and grass-fed beef if you can. It tastes better, it's better for your health, for the environment, and for the animals. When in doubt about processed meats, like sausages, cold cuts, and meatballs, just look at the ingredient list for carbs like added sugar or flour. Again, less than 5% carbs. Seafood is excellent. Everything is good, you can choose what you like. Fatty fish like salmon is great, but avoid breading as it's full of carbs. And if you can find wild-caught fish, that's the very best, with even more healthy omega-3 fat. How about eggs? People often eat a lot of eggs on keto, which are perfect and nutritious food. You can have them boiled, fried in butter, or as omelets, whatever you want. Try to buy organic, and if you can find eggs from free-range chickens, congratulations, they are the best. People often ask me, how many eggs can you eat, considering cholesterol? And my answer is always, no more than 36 eggs per day. But you don't have to. You could eat fewer eggs too, if you want. When it comes to vegetables, a simple rule is that all vegetables growing above ground are good, as they contain very few carbs. You can probably eat a pound a day, maybe more, and still stay in ketosis. Vegetables are good for you. Vegetables from below ground, tubers, should be kept to a minimum on a keto diet, as they contain a bit more carbs. Potatoes, including sweet potatoes, should preferably be avoided. Vegetables are also a great and tasty way to eat good fat on keto. So fry your vegetables in butter, pour plenty of olive oil over your salad. You could even think of vegetables as a fat delivery system. What fat should you eat on keto? Use real butter and real heavy cream for cooking. Forget the old and obsolete fear of natural fat. That way the food gets tastier and you get more satisfied. And you can also have rich sauces like béarnaise or hollandaise sauce or garlic butter. Coconut oil, olive oil, they're also excellent choices. Now, it's important to realize that while some people still fear natural saturated fats, that's actually been a mistake. Modern science proves it. Natural saturated fats, including butter, are fine to eat. To learn more about this, use the link below. Don't fear fat. Fat is your friend. How much fat can you eat? Just eat until you're satisfied. And if you're still hungry, eat more fat. Other naturally rich dairy products are also good, not just butter. Like cheese, real full-fat cheese, of course. You can also have really high-fat yogurt, like Greek, Turkish or Russian yogurt, but make sure it's really high fat and with no added sugar. So why are the high fat alternatives the best choices? Well, it's because they keep you full longer. Therefore, you'll want to eat less, which is good. As dairy products like yogurt and milk, they do contain some milk sugar. And if you choose the highest fat options, you will get fuller sooner and you won't get a lot of milk sugar. Low-fat products, they don't keep you satisfied. They taste worse and they may even be worse for your health. Worst of all, low-fat yogurts often have tons of sugar added to them. So they've removed the natural fat and instead added the same amount of calories in pure sugar, often a huge amount. So always avoid that. Low-fat milk should also be avoided. It could be called white soda. Actually, you probably shouldn't drink milk at all on keto, as the carbs do add up quickly, about 15 grams of sugar in 1 glass of milk. Sugar and starch that you want to avoid are primarily found in sweets and bread, pasta, rice and potatoes. The absolutely worst two things for your weight and health are soda and fruit juices, as they contain a ton of sugar. And the same goes for so-called sports drinks and energy drinks. They are sugar bombs. The last drink to say goodbye to is unfortunately beer, as it's full of rapidly digested carbs. I'm sure you heard the expression beer belly, and now you know why beer causes the beer bellies, because of all the bad carbs. Better choice for special occasions is a glass of red wine. Muffins, cookies, candies, they are also really bad choices on keto. No surprises really. A small piece of dark, real chocolate on occasion is a much better choice. Or some nuts. Here's what perhaps surprises people the most. Fruit. It contains a lot of sugar, which you notice of course as it tastes sweet. Try to view fruit as natural candy and eat it only occasionally. Berries are better, they contain less sugar and they are great with real whipping cream. It's a popular keto dessert. So how about drinks? What should you drink on keto? Soda, fruit juice and beer are out of course. The best drink is plain water, carbonated or flavored if you want. Coffee and tea are great, even with a moderate amount of milk or cream. When it comes to alcohol, there are several smart alternatives that taste good and impact weight minimally. Not just red wine, but be careful. You may be more sensitive to alcohol on keto. Use our alcohol guide linked below for more information. In conclusion, here's classic keto food. Real food without sugar or starch. You eat when hungry until you're satisfied, and this could be 3 times a day. But some people only need to eat twice, or perhaps even just once a day. You can choose what feels right for you. However, before you actually get started eating keto, I would recommend you watch the next video in this series. It's about the common side effects that many people experience when starting keto and how you can avoid them. I'll see you soon in part 4.